Hello. Unmute yourself real quick.
Okay, I have.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. You hit traffic again, I assume.
Yeah, actually, not the traffic. I have like 4 kids, and they just wouldn't get out the movie theater. Yeah.
Understood. Understood. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about your post-construction, and I had that so the buildings or the homes are roughly around 2,000 to 3,500 square foot, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when I talked to you earlier, we discussed um, getting the scope of work from the actual client. And
Yeah.
a lot of times they will kind of push you, and it's with newer people that aren't really experienced in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So they will try to kind of um, put their price on you. And like I told you before, you want to make sure that you can know what your numbers are so
Mm-hmm.
that you can know, okay, they may be saying, okay, we want this amount per square foot per home or whatever, but know if you're able to accept that, or if you don't want to accept it, know, okay, these are my numbers and these are my bottom numbers. So you don't want to go any lower than your bottom line number.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I want to show you one of the kind of communications that I had with one of the builders here in
Mm-hmm.
Colombia. They were when I was first well, I think it was like last year or something like that, where I was trying to get into post-construction cleaning and with builders and stuff like that. And I had no idea what I was doing. So I was kind of learning and kind of winging it as I went on. I communicated with AJ. He'll help me out with kind of understanding the lingo, the jargon, how they talk to you and some of the things that they're asking, because some of the stuff didn't make sense. So I'm gonna try to share my screen and show you one of the communications and a contract that I had with them. It never uh, panned out, but I want to show this to you. So let me make sure. Do you see post-construction site cleanup on your screen?
Yes, I have.
You see that? Okay. So this is one of the proposals that I did for him,
Mm-hmm.
and these numbers. Let me make sure I move this so I can see. So when I came up with these numbers, they were asking they wanted a general price per square foot per each home. They had probably about 20, 25 homes that they had built, and they were still building more. So my thought process was, okay, I'm not trying to get rich off of one home, right? Off of one account. It's about building relationship and understanding, hey, if I get this amount per home, this percent profit, and I just keep multiplying that by the number of homes, then my
Mm-hmm.
profits are going to increase as long as I'm not the one doing all the cleaning, right?
Right. Right.
So, like you said, I believe you're subcontracting a lot of your work.
Actually, not some subcontract, but I have three. Actually, now 3 people
Okay.
that I hire.
Okay. So this was like, I think last year. Well, I think this was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get kind of caught up in this number right here, because a lot of times when you look at the cleaning business, the CBN calculator, it says, I don't know if it's changed since. It used to say 25%, 25 cents per square foot
Mm-hmm.
to like a certain number. I think the number may have gone up now. Like
It's
when
still
you look, it says what?
it's still 25 cents per
So
square feet.
25 cents. So that's the minimum that you want to kind of shoot for. But if you kind of poll other people, other companies, a lot of them go, as high as 50% to $1 a square foot, right? So
Sorry.
so the 25% per square foot is the minimum amount I would charge.
And
Um,
is that for all 3 phases?
that's for all three, right? But when they want you to break it down, into, per clean, the rough clean, the final clean, and the touch-up cleans and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, now you got to figure out, okay, what's that number? right? Because understanding what they want for each section, like the rough clean is going to be the part where, say, for instance, I'm going to scroll down in this proposal. I took pictures of the site, right? So this was one of the homes. So the rough clean would be this, right? You're cleaning up all the debris, the sawdust and all that other stuff. This is before the house is complete. So that's more like the rough clean, right? Let's see if I have any other pictures. And if you can see right over here, these are some of the houses over here. But this is the rough clean, and it's also called site clean. Site clean is cleaning up the outside and all this stuff, because when they're kind of doing these homes, there's a lot of debris and stuff like that kind of gets dropped off and thrown out or whatever. It's supposed to go into a dumpster that's close to the site, but it's not, it doesn't always make it. So they'll pay for a person to come and clean the site. So anywhere from, $15, $20 an hour, to, whatever you want to charge them. But they want somebody to clean the site. So that's another kind of phase of the cleaning process. So you have the rough clean, the final clean, you have touch-up cleans, and then you also have what's called closing cleans. All right. So the rough clean, like I said, it's like in the beginning stages. They haven't finished building the apartment, the house at all. The final clean is after they're done. This is where a lot of times they may include where you clean you clean up the windows, you take all the adhesive stickers that are on the windows, you clean the windows inside and out. Sometimes it really depends. So understanding what they want in each phase is really, really important. Touch-up clean is like, for instance, after the house has been done, everything is complete. You've already completed your final clean, but now they have people doing open houses, right? So they'll come in, look at the house. So you have multiple people coming in and out of the house. Now, at the end of the week, they want that house cleaned again. Now, you're not doing a whole lot of cleaning. You're just basically touching up, you're vacuuming, wiping stuff down. So it's not really a whole lot going into that clean. You're just making it ready and prepping it for the next week of people coming in, looking at the house in order to possibly buy it. So it's not a lot of work in this clean. It shouldn't be, right? Because they're not using the bathrooms. They're not, sitting down on the furniture or whatever. It's just basically just touching up and wiping everything up for the next week of people coming in, right? Closing clean. That's something, and I didn't know any of this, and I found all this stuff out in this process. Closing clean is when they've sold the house, right? People have been going in the house all week. Now they finally sold the house, and they have a closing date. Now these people want to take over their house. So you have another clean, which is basically the same as this touch-up clean. It's the same thing. You're just doing it right before somebody actually purchases the house. Because after you're done with that closing clean, you're probably not going to clean it again, because that person is going to take over that house. You see what I'm saying? So these cleans aren't real intensive cleans. The intensive cleans are the rough clean and the final clean.
I see. But I'm seeing you charging 16 cents per square feet on the final clean.
But see, and this is what I wanted to show you, that's a total. So if you think about it, for the entire process, if you add this up, let me do my calendar, my calculator. So the entire process, say 10 cents, 16 cents, plus the touch-up clean, which is 8 cents, right? So all through, let's see, 10, 16, 8. So without the closing clean, that's 35 cents a square foot.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I just broke it down into what each clean would be, because I'm still getting my 35% or it's 35 cents per square foot.
Okay.
You're just doing it, you're breaking it down into multiple cleans. That's all it is. Now, like I said, this site clean, that's when they're doing the outside, and that's where I was charging 20 cents or $20 a man hour. Like, so if I had somebody there, 5 hours a day, that's what, $100 per day that I have somebody there on site cleaning up all the nails, all the debris and all that stuff and putting it into the dumpster,
And
right?
how many hours do you think it takes to clean a 2,000 square feet home?
It depends because you're not really cleaning appliances. You don't have like a terrible refrigerator or oven that you have to clean. You're just really wiping this stuff down.
Like the rough cleaning. Like how many hours you think it will take to do a 2,000 square feet?
It really depends. It can take anywhere from, 2 hours to maybe 4 hours, depending on how dirty and how much debris and stuff is left in the home. If you have to, like for instance, in a rough clean, you're gonna have stuff on the concrete, sticky stuff, and you're gonna have to scrape it up and kind of clean
Okay.
up the concrete. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's like a sort of like a chisel or whatever that to kind of like when in grocery stores they have this tool to like get gum off the floor and stuff like that. I forget what the tool is called, but it's like a scraper to kind of scrape stuff up. In a lot of construction sites, you'll have that stuff on the ground and you have to be able to scrape that up to kind of make the floor clean so that when they have the people come in that does the flooring, there's nothing on the floor, on the ground, on a concrete base. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So it can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. It depends on how good you are and how, confident you are in what you're doing.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me check real quick. While I got you. I guess nobody is trying to get in. Cool. All right, cool. So like I said, site clean. So now another thing that they ask for like pressure washing. Like at this point, I didn't do pressure washing, but it's another service that they'll ask for. So when you're done with doing all the cleanups, the closing clean, and everything else, they may want you to pressure wash and clean up the area of the house because there's a lot of debris,
Mm-hmm.
sand, sawdust, and all this other stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be prepared to know, hey, how am I going to price this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you may not know how to price it. So what I did was I found a pressure washer,
Mm-hmm.
somebody that does pressure washing, and I asked them how much he would charge
Right.
and just add a percentage profit to that. And that's what I submitted. So
Okay.
he said he would do because what they'll ask is like a lot of the siding they'll want done. They'll want the the rain gutters done and all that other stuff, all that washed off. And it's not really a pressure wash, it's more of a soft washing where you put a chemical on, you spray a chemical on, the chemical does its work, and you kind of rinse it off. So it's not really a whole lot. You just have to know how to do it. I would get a professional to do that if you didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
So that's just another added thing I would add to it. Um, and I want to show you something else that they also gave me. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's pull this off. And then let's go to, see if I can pull that up. No, not that one. Let's go here and here. See if it pulls up. Oh, okay. Can you see interior clean? Do you see
Mm-hmm.
that on your screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So this is when I told you before, I said you need to find out what exactly they want
Mm-hmm.
because they'll give you a generalized statement. We just want a rough clean, uh, you know, uh, final clean and all these other cleans, but they don't tell you what that is. They don't tell you what their expectation is. So you want to know their expectation. So I had them give me a copy of their trade scope of work. So with this, it'll tell you exactly what they want.
So
For
this is they sent you this or you made this one?
no, they sent it to me because I asked them. So what you need to do is ask them what each clean entails. So you'll know exactly what is required, what is expected.
So should I get asked this after I win the bid or before?
No, before. That's how you figure out what your bid is. So you'll
Okay.
know you'll know, okay, they're not wanting me to do a whole lot. So I can probably move towards a 25 cents per square foot kind of price range. But if they're having you do a whole lot, then you're going to move your price up because it's going to require you to do a lot more work.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But I
Yeah.
mean, you don't always have to go with the per square foot kind of process or way of coming up with how much to charge. You can go with, okay, how long is it going to take me to clean? If I know how long it's going to take me to clean, then I know, okay, what is my hourly rate? If I charge $50 per hour, if I charge $100 per hour, you multiply that rate per hour times how many times you think it's going to take you. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. So sorry, my fiance started talking to me. But anyway, so you'll understand how long it's going to take you. You'll understand you can use that number to figure out how much to charge.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, like you said, they're going to want you to break it down into each phase of the cleaning process.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's see what else. Another thing. Let's see. See if I can get this other one to come up for you so I can show you that also. All right, so this right here, the pressure washing, they sent me this also. So this breaks down everything that they want or expect in the pressure washing.
Okay.
So what I'll do is, since you're on here, and I invited other people to come on and kind of learn some of this stuff, but I'm going to send you these documents,
All
right?
right. Yes,
Send you
I was
all
gonna.
three of these, and you can use that to kind of help you. Don't go with my numbers, go with your numbers, okay?
Right. Right.
Don't go with your numbers and what you feel comfortable with, because it's not about me, it's about what you feel comfortable with. And then you go from there, and then just be open for negotiations. But in order to negotiate, you have to know what your bottom line number is.
Right.
Okay. Know what your bottom line number is.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you something that I don't show everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll show it to you because you're in the group. So I want to show you something. This is something I created not too long ago, right? Matter of fact, like last week.
Okay.
So for instance, when I'm kind of figuring out how I'm pricing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it'll take me like a day or two to kind of be comfortable with the price or be comfortable with the bid proposal that I want to submit. So I'm going back and forth and I'm trying to figure out all the numbers. What's my lowest number? What's how much profit? All this stuff that I'm trying to figure out. And I'm writing all this stuff down and I'm using my iPad to put all that stuff in. Taking me a long time, whole lot of time, unnecessary waste of time. So I created this document right here where, say for instance, I came up with a bid, right? And from AJ's calculator, in the calculator, if you've used it, it'll tell you what your expected or estimated monthly expenses are in reference to payroll taxes, excuse me, supplies and all that other stuff, right? So if you put that number in, and then you also put in like how many times you're going to clean per week, how many hours it takes to clean, it gives you a number. It gives you an estimated monthly profit. So for instance, if I'm paying somebody, say $450 to $477 for a job, right? And they're cleaning it 3 times a week and it takes them 2 hours to clean. My profit is going to be, it'll break down what my profit is going to be for the month, what my estimated net profit is. And then it gives you a gross profit margin estimated, right? It gives you a projected annual gross revenue. So gross, what you'll bring in every year is right around 7,000 or this number right here. And then it also calculates the projected our annual net profit. What I also added was a lot of times I wasn't comfortable with whatever the bid estimate was. So what I would do is I would figure out what my bottom line number is. So do you know what your profit margin is? How much profit you're trying to get per job?
The ones I have right now, I have like 30% profit. So
30% profit. Are you sure? Is that just what you're guessing?
well, that's my guesstimate. That's before
I
tax.
know. I could tell by the look on your face. I knew exactly what it was
That's
because
before
I was
tax.
there. And
Yeah.
it's not a problem. I was there and I understand. We don't
Yeah.
really know.
That's
We don't
before.
understand. you know, because we're still new at this. So what I would do is, okay, if I wasn't comfortable with what the price is, I knew what it was going to cost me to do it, which is that number right there, right? So then I would say, okay, well, how about if I just add, if I want 25% profit, I know that it's going to be that. If I
So
want 30%,
that 25%, is it before or after tax?
this is, yeah, this is after. This is including all your expenses and all your taxes and everything
Okay. Okay.
from that, right? So yeah, so then I would go say, okay, well now I have all of this. So now if I for instance say I bid or I put in a proposal for say $620, they come back and say, well, that's above our budget. What can you do? I know what my lowest profit I'm going to accept. So now I know, okay, well, I'll go as low as say this. I can go as low as $572, 573, right? So I already know this and I don't have to sit there and do the calculations because it's already done. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
I do.
now if you keep going over, I also have, okay, now if you break it down, if I say, for instance, I'm not paying somebody that much. Maybe I'm paying them 400 for this job. Now
Right.
from this number, I already know what it costs per clean to clean this facility, right? I know what the rate is per hour. So that turns out to be $22 or $23 per hour. If I'm going to pay a cleaner to do it, I know that, hey, this is what it's going to cost me per clean to pay this cleaner. I know what that rate is, what it ends up being per hour, right? So it breaks it all down. I know what the profit per clean is for me, and I know what the percentage of that profit is. So even though, over here it said that my estimated gross profit margin is this, depending on what I decide to pay somebody to do the clean, I know that'll bring up my profit for that clean because I didn't pay somebody that amount. I paid them another amount that they agreed upon. It's not like I'm lowballing them. We're negotiating on what they'll take the account for. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. So that's just something that I use that I created. Um, Actually last week I think I did it. All right.
Okay.
So, all right, let's go back to here. So like I said, understanding exactly what is expected by the cleaner, by the client is your number one goal to help you decide how you're going to bid and how you're going to price the job. Just
Okay.
going in aimlessly and not saying a rough clean, middle clean, final clean, all of the other stuff, and just giving them a number, you're not going to make money that way. You're not going to know if you're making a profit or not.
Is the final clean like, can you compare it to like a deep clean?
Uh, you you could, but I don't think it's that intensive.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's that intensive because this is a new home. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of dust. You may have, it's rare that you'll have a lot of paint splatter like on the floors because a lot of times the painting and stuff is done before the flooring is put in. So it's really not really a whole lot other than dust, which can take a while. It can take a while depending on, how the builders are. But it really just needs to be something where you've actually seen it, you've been to the location, and you can kind of see what to expect when you're going in for your cleans.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, you can utilize square footage if you want to and do 25 cents to whatever number you want to do per square foot. But like I said, if you know how long it may take you to clean it, and you know what your hourly rate is, you can come up with what your price is. And if you
Okay.
need to break it down, just divide it. Divide it by, okay, well, the rough clean is probably going to be more work than, let's say, the rough clean is going to be more work than, probably more than the final clean.
Right.
And I say that because the rough clean is when they're doing, all the sawdust and all the other stuff. The flooring isn't done, but it just really depends on how they actually clean. How I'm not really clean, but how they actually clean up after they're done, doing the building, because sometimes they will clean up their mess and all you're doing is wiping down stuff. So it depends on the actual client. So hopefully
Okay.
you've actually gone to see the site before.
They didn't show me. They say they didn't want to show me. They don't have it.
Wait a minute, say that again.
They say it's still being built. It's not ready to show.
Okay, so it's only one
Um.
building?
So I'm sorry. My son is. Hey.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My son is just acting up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he says they like building 5 at the time. That's what they do. So
Okay.
they had a cleaner already, but they want to change. So because they don't like the way they clean. So they're
Mm-hmm.
building 5 now, but they're not ready to show because it's like being built right now.
Okay, well, they have a slab, they have a foundation or a frame of the house, right?
Actually, I went because the office I went to, I've just seen it like the building is not even up yet.
Oh, they're not even up yet. Okay, that makes it a
Yeah,
little more difficult.
yeah. So I don't know if I should. Maybe you suggest I should wait until at least they build one so I can see it.
It helps, because if you get locked into a low number, you're locked into that number and you can try to negotiate after the fact because you expect it. But this is why I want you to find out what their expectation is in their scope of work. So have
Okay.
them send you a scope of work on what they expect for each clean or what they expect for the house as a whole. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can figure out what you need to do.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna send you these. You can use these to kind of
Yes.
help you out because that was like 2 years ago, and I'm not going back to them. They just stopped talking, so I'm not playing with them.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna I don't know. I kind of like the post construction. It seems like it's easier to deal with.
it is. It is. But like I said, in order for it to be easy, you have to know the expectation
Right,
because if not, you're just cleaning blindly. And
right.
then they'll come in and say, what'll happen is, and this happened to me a few times in some other post-construction cleans, is you'll do the cleaning in reference to what the builder says, but then the builder isn't the person that's making the decision. So when that decision maker comes in, they say, well, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. But the builder didn't tell you that because you didn't have a scope of work.
Okay,
So I,
I'm
so
definitely
I
will email them today and ask for
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I had one of those where it was a 7-Eleven up here, and the builder said what they wanted. I did what the builder wanted. Then the person that's taken over the building that actually owns the building, they said they wanted this done, they wanted that done. Well, that wasn't what me and him decided. So now you're making me stay here longer
Right.
to do work that I wasn't told to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
have that in writing, exactly what they want, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll save you a whole lot of time, heartache.
Okay, I'll do
Okay?
that. All right.
All
Thank you.
right.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I'll wait for the email of these documents here.
Okay, give me about an hour. I'm about to go walk with my family, and then we'll come back and put it in for you, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
All right. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
You. Bye bye.
Bye.